It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I've had a lager from this brewery and I've had a session IPA from this brewery. It's an Italian brewery called Oxiana. And they were both superb. The lager was good. The session IPA was like a worldy, really, really good quality beer. Now I've left hoping, fingers crossed, hoping I've left the best till last here. This is Birra Oxiana from Rome, Italy, and this is their epic amber IPA. I love the fact that they're using the word amber. I don't think it's my sister-in-law's name. you might have seen her on a video once eating spicy hot chicken wings from TGI Fridays about 3 years ago. That was Amber. And she, coincidentally, she lives in Italy. But I don't think enough breweries use the word amber. Amber's such a brilliant name, a brilliant word, a brilliant way to explain the colour of a beer. Because they're generally amber in colour. And I like that. I like the fact that they've used the word amber IPA. You see a lot of red IPAs, you see a lot of dark stouts, you see a lot of black beers. Why not use the word amber? Brilliant. 6.8% ABV, 330 millilitre bottle. There's the bottle cap. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Woo! Do you know, normally when that happens, I'm reaching for the glass as quick as possible, because normally that's a bang. That's like beer all over your floor and all over your cream sofa, your cream carpets. But no, look at this. That was, I like it when that happens, when you get that sort of whoosh. Yeah, and then no sort of explosion going on. So this is bottle conditioned beer. You can see it's bottle conditioned, and you can see there's been quite a lot of second fermentation going on here in the glass. You can see that. Look, you can see that by the, look at the foam. You can see that by the foam. You can see that it's mopped up. The little bit of yeast that the brewers put into the bottom of this bottle has mopped up all of the residual sugars that might have been left in the beer. And it's just had a chance to finish its job. And you can see that. You can visibly see it by that foam that we had just then. I'm very excited by this. I like bottled IPA. It's like a step back in time to sort of 2013, 2014, when there were so many breweries bottling their IPAs, and now everything seems to be in cans. And I think to a certain element, to a certain aspect, to a certain extent, canned craft beer now has become the norm. It's become a little bit boring. So when you can get a 6.8% IPA in a bottle, I think that's a little bit exciting. I really do. We got a 2-finger white head on the beer. It is amber in colour. It is nice and hazy. It looks great. If you want to pick up this beer, it's available from our channel sponsors, beersofeurope.co.uk. Beers of Europe, the largest online beer store in the UK, with a fabulous range of beer from all over the world. If you love your beer, if you've been on holiday, or if you've worked away and you want to try that sort of perfect beer that you were drinking on holiday or when you were working away, then the best place to try and find it in the UK would be beersofeurope.co.uk. There's a little warehouse full of beer. There's a restaurant there and an antique shop. So if you're around the Norfolk, Suffolk way, have a little look at Beers of Europe. They're in Bury St Edmund. Are they in Bury St Edmund? Or is that Green King? That's Green King. have a look where Birra Oxiana are. I'm just sending people to Green Kings Brewery. There's a link in the description box, birraoxiana.co.uk. Okay, on we go. Let's get the aroma. Oh, it just smells terrific. This aroma is just fantastic, it really is. Juicy, tropical. You get the complex malts coming through. A little bit of jam, a little bit of tart. A bit of spicy sort of pepperiness. Whoa, smells great. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. It's tutti fruity, but you do get a sense. You get a sense of something. I'm going to have to go back in. It's tutti and fruity and citrusy and grapefruity. I reviewed this session IPA and it was out of this world beer, it really was. And I was so excited to try this. It's good. It's good. The mouthfeel is creamy and rich. There's an element of sweetness there. It's dry. That's what's happening here. It's really quite dry. It becomes, it almost kind of, well, it is, it sort of dries your palate. One of those beers. It dries your palate and then it offers up some bitterness on the back end, a good amount of bitterness. But I am burping back. It's strange because I'm burping back flavours of grapefruit and orange peel. But I'm not necessarily being waved at by the grapefruit and the orange peel. Hey, look at me, you know, whilst I'm drinking the beer. It's the burp back, the little kind of, you know, that you do when you drink a lot of beer. That I'm getting that sort of grapefruit, that orange peel, that fleshy blood orange. I think maybe the second fermentation that's gone on here in the bottle. It's just taken something away from the beer a little bit. I think if I had a beer from this brewery where, so when they're filling from the fermenters, you can either have beer from the top of the fermenter, which is probably going to be brighter with less yeast. And then when you get down to the bottom of the fermenter, the vessel, when you get down to the bottom of the vessel, it becomes a little bit more sort of yeasty and bitty and sedimenty. And I think that's what's happened here. I think this might be a bottle from the bottom of the fermenter rather than the top. It's not bright. It's not as bright. It's not as sort of like... I reckon this beer could be better. I reckon if I had a bottle from the earlier sort of batch that came from the fermentation vessel, I think the beer would be much better. That's a shame. That's how it is. Life happens like that, doesn't it? On this occasion, now bearing in mind I give the Session IPA 9 out of 10. I loved it. This isn't, it's almost kind of nowhere near as good, but the potential's there from earlier on in the batch when they were bottling it, when they were packaging it. So on this occasion, sadly, I'm going to give this bottle a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Not as good, but thanks for watching anyway. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.